All right. So obviously we need to create our world. I'm going to quickly throw in some stuff. Background. We're going to have some players, so we'll get an animal. Pelicans are cool. Player. Okay. We're going to need a platform, so I'm going to use the brick again. I like to use the brick. If you guys want to use something else, feel free to. I'm going to call it ground. Okay, that just makes the most sense. Actually, I'm going to change this. I don't like this image. It's background image. Okay, so if you guys have not created a world or haven't gotten far, go ahead and start making a world. Okay, so I'm going to use code I've used already. I don't want to reinvent the wheel. So I'm going to use the maze code for making it, creating a constructor class and changing the image. So I'm going to do this get image.scale, get image.width, timesing the width by 6. I don't need to times the height at all. Okay, I'm going to do that in my ground code. So now I'll pull up my ground code, paste that in there. So I'm timesing the width by 6. Okay, I'll give you guys a second just to type that out. You guys can always, freeze the video when I publish it, so that you guys can type this code out. Okay, I'll leave this up to the side. See if I can do, oops. Okay, now I'll compile. I'm just gonna have one size of ground. Yeah, I don't think I need more than one size. I mean later on I can always change and add another ground that's half the size. Okay, so create a few platforms. Maybe make it so you can come back this way. Okay. I'm actually going to make my world a little bit bigger as well. So I'm going to save the world there. I'll pop that screen back up here in a second if you guys want to really take a look at that code one more time. So I make my world quite a bit bigger. Let's go 1,000 by 800. I think that still fits on my screen. Almost. Okay. That'll probably fit on your guys' screen better than mine. But save the world. Add a player in there, this pelican. Save the world. Okay. Now I need to open the player class for the pelican. And create a public void. Create a method. So I'm going to create. You guys notice I always just do public void, name of the method, open close parentheses, then I open curly brace, close curly brace. Okay, that makes it so we have the code ready to go. All your editing is correct. Okay, I'm just going to do simply that I know my left and right will be normal. So I'm going to do the normal code that we normally use for getting left and right. Now the jumping up and down will obviously be what's different. Okay, so if what? For moving right and left. There you go. Greenfoot.is key down. Right. Okay, there's no semicolon because we're about to start a command. This is just an if statement. That was just the condition. Here's the statement. Okay, for now, we're simply just going to move 4. Okay, don't reinvent the wheel. We'll copy this and paste it. And have left here and -4. Okay, now when we animate our characters, we might have it similar. We'll see. We might have to change a few things once we have animated characters in there. But for now, this is fine. We can go ahead and put this in the act method. Move around. And we've done this enough times where we know that that will work for us. We probably don't need to test that. Okay. Then if you guys have your falling and jumping code in here, or your falling and jumping slides in there, you pop that up. Stage 2, it talks about first we need to create variable for vertical speed equals 0 and acceleration equals 1. Okay, that's because we want our vertical speed to start off being nothing. And we want to make it, I mean, it doesn't have to be private, but just so it doesn't get confusing, we'll make it private int vertical speed, private acceleration equal to 1. Okay, this 1 is, it says in the notes here also, that vertical speed will gradually increase. We want it to start at 0. The amount you will accelerate by is what acceleration is. So you don't want it to be 10 or they're gonna fly. Accelerate very, very, very quickly. Okay. So it asks you to create another method, a fall method. Okay. They like to use private, which is fine. It just makes it so if you have a subclass, you can't use fall. Okay. So fall, set location, get x, get y, plus vertical speed. So this is just like the get x, get y plus 5 or whatever, except we have this vertical speed that will be changing. And how we make this vertical speed change is by doing vertical speed equals vertical speed plus acceleration. And we already know that acceleration, if I can spell acceleration, will gradually be what's gradually increasing. It starts at 1 and it'll get faster and faster as the fall command goes. Okay, yeah, Alexa.
So I haven't logged in yet, so we have a step on the login. Like it won't let me log in because or should I just
Oh, okay. I know. I'll help you out there. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go off for a second, then I'll jump back on. So log in real quick, Alexa, for me. Okay, so we are back to player. Okay, so we have our fall command. So for now, we're going to have fall and our act method. Okay, we've already added these platforms. Okay, so as this explains, the horizontal offset 0, meaning right on, remember offset, guys. Offset is the very center of an object. If it's 0, 0, remember it's the very middle of the object. So what we're going to do is going to get not the center. We're going to get the center of the object, the middle, but the bottom middle. So it is as if he is standing on something. Okay? So we grab our player. We're going to create a Boolean, actually. Okay? So Boolean on ground. Okay. Checking if something is underneath them. So the under. So get one object at offset allows you to check a certain point. So the horizontal is the x value needs to be the first thing you put in. So that's going to be 0 because we're getting the middle of him. Okay. And then we are going to actually get image, the image that we have. Get the height of this. Divide it by 2. And then what we're looking for is the ground.class. If you've named your platform something else like platform, that's what you need to put there. Okay, but ground.class allows you to, this will allow you to check, just like if we were intersecting something and going to make it disappear, this allows you to just check if you are standing on the ground. Okay? So this allows you to check if you're standing on the ground. Okay, don't forget the semicolon. And then does not equal null. Okay, this just allows you to, just like if get one intersecting object, ground.class does not equal null, we remove the object. So this is just saying, this is just all checking if you're touching the ground, if you're standing on the ground. Okay? So now we're going to do our check falling code method. So I'm going to do just public void check falling. If this Boolean that we just created, if on ground equals false, checking if it's equal to false, we're going to do our fall command. Now, it wanted us to actually check if the fall command worked. So now that we have it in this check falling, everyone have this first of all? Okay, make sure you have this. We're going to delete our fall command. Whoops. We're going to delete our fall command in here and change it to check falling. Now, since we already have the fall command getting called, if this Boolean is false, we are still using the fall command within this method. This fall method is in the check falling method. So we have a method inside of a method. Okay. So now we're going to compile. If Greenfoot.is key down, I have missed parentheses. This is why you actually do check this, because that was the first code I wrote. But everything still works fine. So now, okay, he's standing on the platform. If he falls off, he falls down. That's what we need to be checking. Does the fall command work? We don't yet have our jumping, but we do have falling. Okay, so he does stand on the platform well, and he does fall. He gets off of it. Okay. Now this will explain the jumping, how it's very similar to the falling. But falling, you're adding vSpeed to make him accelerate downward. So you notice in the image that the fastest you're falling, or as you're falling faster and faster, the number is actually getting higher and higher. So how would we make it go up instead of down? If 14 is the fastest you're falling down in that image, and 0 is nothing, how do you make them go up really fast? Or just go up in general? Negative number, thank you. Okay, so explains right here. You'll initially start jumping really fast, but then it'll slow you down and you'll be falling. Okay, so now we're going to do private int jump height -12. Equals, I'm actually just going to do -8. I think -12 makes you jump pretty far, pretty high. So this is how high you're going to jump. Okay. Now we're going to need to make a code for jumping. We can add this to the move around. Okay, they have a check keys that they have, but I like this move around. Okay. So if Greenfoot dot is key down, you're welcome to copy and paste the one above it. And then just edit it. Okay, make sure you open close parentheses. vSpeed equals jump height. Fall is also included while you're pushing space. Okay, you compile. Now we test. So I can jump. Okay. The only issue that we see here is if you let it go, if he's going too fast, it'll go right, it'll go right through the platform. A couple things you can do with that. You can make the platform thicker. If we can try this, I have not tried this. I'm going to just edit this. If it equals true, I think this will actually work and make our code a little bit better. We can set vSpeed equal to 0 so that it does not fall anymore the second that that becomes true. As long as that can be, I guess that already should happen if it's not false. It should be true. And so it should reset the vSpeed back to 0. But we'll see if that helps at all. Compile. No, it doesn't look like it helps. Okay, so just make sure that you make it a little bit thicker if you need to. Let's see if I add 2 right here. Yeah, just making it a little thicker. Well, it seems like it works. Okay, so you just need to make a little bit thicker platform, and that should work out fine. Okay, so now your next step will be to design this platformer in a way that makes it okay. Did you notice a problem though? You can jump while you are falling, so you can, that is another problem that I didn't notice. Okay, so you can hop around and keep jumping and defy gravity. You're a bird. I'm a bird. That's why do you think I chose that? Exactly right. So if you add this code in, if greenfoot.isKeyDown space and on ground equals true on your space. So we go back to the move around code. So we just add an ampersand on ground equals true. Compile. It needs one more parentheses. So keep adding parentheses to this. And let's take a look. Now you can't hold it down, okay? So now that 12 might make more sense because you can't really jump that high with this. So if I go back, I'm going to negative actually 20, give them quite a bit of height. Okay? So now he needs to have a platform on the bottom. There we go. Almost. Okay? So now you have a working platformer game. Okay, and you just need to design your area. Okay, and you can add things to that. Okay, so that's step one. Later on, we'll get into the animation as well.